So like, have you ever wondered why it's so difficult to like reach your goals that you set for yourself in your business? Well, today that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to let you know exactly why it's so hard for you to reach the goals that you're looking to reach inside your business. Um, so it can really be a couple of different things, right? You got fear of success, you got fear of failure, avoidance, self-esteem, ego, analysis paralysis. Everybody know what analysis paralysis is, where you really just overthink things. You analyze it so much that you don't actually take action. You just keep gathering more information, but you never actually do anything. That's what I mean by analysis paralysis. And the list, it just goes on and on and on and on. There's so many different things that can stop you from reaching your goals in your business, right? But I'm gonna focus on just one, which will eliminate all the other issues if you just simply put the lesson into action, and that is harnessing your expectations. Now, I want to start here because I believe your expectation of a certain outcome is the superpower that will shape your future and transform the life that you actually want to have if you just use it to your advantage. So before we get too deep into it, I want to make sure that we are using the same definition of what expectation is. Um, so I'm going to define expectation as a belief in a future outcome. All right, everybody got that? It's just a belief in the future outcome. You believe it's going to be this way. Like for example, you think to yourself, I'm thirsty, so I'm going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to grab a glass of water, and therefore you expect a few things. You expect the floor to support your weight when you stand up. You expect your body to support your weight when you stand up. You expect your legs to carry you to the kitchen. You expect there's going to be water in the kitchen when you get there. You expect the water to quench your thirst, and if it doesn't, you expect it to be more water so you can keep drinking until your thirst is quenched, right? You have all these expectations of a future outcome, um, and that's all it is you're believing that it's going to be what you think is going to be once you get there, right? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
All right. So, um, your expectations can only produce two outcomes. One is desirable, and the other one is undesirable, which can also be translated into faith for desirable and doubt for undesirable. Like, I expect the floor to support my weight, therefore I have faith that the floor will support my weight, which is a desirable outcome. And vice versa, I expect the floor to give away as soon as I step on it, therefore I doubt the floor is strong enough to hold me up, which is going to be an undesirable outcome because I'm just going to fall through the floor and maybe break an ankle, break a leg, twist or something. I don't know. um, Now, after you have the expectation that's set, the only thing left then is just to make a choice. And it's, do I take action or do I take inaction? Now, nobody actually asks themselves the question like, hey, do I take action or inaction? But that's essentially what it all boils down to. Am I gonna do something or am I gonna do nothing? Um, Now, the choice to take action or to just not do anything and be inactive is going to be based upon whether your experience of, or your, sorry, your expectation of the future outcome is going to be a desirable one or it's going to be an undesirable one. And your faith in the outcome is going to determine like what kind of action you take, right? So if you have faith that it's going to be a desirable outcome, you're going to take a certain set of actions. But if you doubt that it's going to actually be that outcome that you want, it's an undesirable outcome, you're going to take a totally different set of steps or inactions, or you may do something completely different than what you would do had you just believed that the outcome is going to be the desirable one, right? Um, so like what I mean by like the kind of inaction you take. Inaction is everything that I just described, right? This is why I say um this will take care of everything, right? If you just focus on this one thing. Everything I mentioned, the fear of success, the fear of failure, avoidance, procrastination, self-esteem, ego, paralysis, it all is or leads to inaction. All that stuff just leads into inaction. That means that every action or inaction that you take in the present is based on an expectation of a future outcome. Y'all with me?
Yes.
I'll say it again to make sure, because this is recorded and it's gonna go out to other people. So I'll make sure that everybody understands this, right? That means that every action or inaction you take in the present is based on the expectation of a future outcome. So if your expectations are desirable, like I said, you'll take a certain set of actions. If it's undesirable, you'll take a different set of actions. And this is why, like, really, it's called I call it the superpower of expectation, because you can literally change and shape your life just by adjusting the expectations that you have. Make sense, everybody?
Adjusting adjusting the goal or just adjusting the outcome.
And adjusting the expectation of the outcome,
Okay.
not so much the goal. Which we're going to talk a little bit about goals in a minute, but I'm talking about you just adjusting what you expect to happen. If you set a goal that I'm going to hit $1 million in 5 days, you're gonna doubt it, right? Because you're like, how can I hit $1 million in 5 days? I haven't even made like $500 in 5 days. I haven't made $1,000 in 5 days. There's no way that. But if you begin to believe it, then you're going to take a different set of actions in order to get to that $1 million in 5 days. You're going to do things a lot differently than if you don't believe it. When you don't believe it, you probably just won't even do anything. You're going to stay inactive. You're going to do nothing. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Because you don't believe it can happen anyways. Why should I do this when I know I can't get there? Why should I even try? That's a waste of my energy. I'll go focus my energy on something else.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where do you get your expectations from? It's super important for you to be aware of this one simple thing that most people aren't aware of until you hear somebody else say it, because no one really probably thinks about it, right? You are not born with your expectations. I know it's like so profound, right? But it's simple. Like nobody thinks about that. You were not born with your expectations, right? So where do you get them from? You get them from like three main places, okay? The people you look up to, like your mother, your father, your teacher, your older brother, could be a younger, I mean, just say sibling. I want to say older because it could be younger. Um, but you get it from your siblings, you get it from coaches, people at work. I mean, just everybody kind of influences you a little bit. Anybody that you've looked up to ever in the past or in the future that you're going to be looking up to. And what happens usually is we kind of, because we trust them and believe them, especially our parents, we walk in blind faith. Um, I can say that for my brother too. I looked up to my older brother, and I just walked in blind faith. There's a lot of things that I did at an early age that I probably wouldn't have done had I not looked up to him. But he was the influence. He was the one that was, he went out and started smoking cigarettes at like 14 years old. So I'm 12. I'm 2 years younger than him. I started smoking cigarettes because he said it was okay and it was cool. So okay, I believe that it's okay and it's cool. Like my expectation is that I'm good with that when I wasn't, right. I probably never would have ever honestly started smoking because I ended up quitting, and like there's a lot of things that I did, drinking, smoking marijuana. I did all that stuff because my older brother did it. And then when I finally got a little older, I was like, I don't like doing this. Why am I doing it? So I stopped doing it. It was very, very simple, but I did it because I looked up to him. Another example is going to be like uh, um, a child who has the same fear as the parent. I remember this time, I can't remember where I was, but there was a dog that was in front of the garage. And the mother and child walked up on the dog unknowingly. The dog just kind of came out, was like, "Rrr." And it wasn't even like the dog was being mean. The dog wanted to play, but the mother was so afraid that the dog was going to harm her or the child that the child was just afraid too. She just adopted the expectation that the dog was vicious. and the dog was going to attack him and all this kind of stuff. She just accepted that in just because it was her mother. Had it been somebody else, she probably would have acted completely different. There was a time where my daughter ran up on a dog because her expectation was dogs are fine because all the dogs, we had dogs in our house and all the dogs were fun and every dog she ever met was always nice and friendly. And she ran up to this dog. She ran up to this dog, and I don't know, she probably was like four at the time or something. And I had no idea whose dog it was, where that dog came from. And she put her hand out there, and I was like, "No, what are you doing? Like, we don't know this dog." But then I was like, if I'm being afraid, then that means that shows her that she has to be afraid of dogs. So I adopted her expectation at that point and said the dog is going to be a friendly one. And we walked up to the dog and let the dog sniff us and pet the dog, and we had fun with the dog. But it was just insane how I switched my expectation just for the child. So that's why I said the age doesn't matter. It could be a sibling, could be whoever, but the but you can always adopt somebody else's expectations, right? So because of that, you want to be careful who you choose to look up to, which I've already kind of went over all that, but you want to be careful. And what you want to look for is for someone who believes the same way that you believe. They have the same belief systems. They have the same, or the same belief systems that you want. If you don't have them, if you want to be wealthy, then you should be, following someone who's wealthy and adopting their mindset. If you want to be successful in business, you should be adopting, or not mindset, I'm sorry, their expectations, right? You should be adopting all their expectations and following them. And that will easily help you change your expectations for yourself. Now, I have more on that. I got a whole section on how to change your expectations. Um, so the second place that we get our expectations from is the things that we say to ourselves. You have to be intentional with words, what you say and what you think. Like the conversations that we have with ourselves are the most important conversations that we can ever have. People on the outside, they can say a lot of things about us, and it doesn't matter if we don't believe it. The moment that we believe it, the moment that we tell ourselves that's what it is, that's when the issues start to happen with your self-esteem and all types of other stuff. So you want to be careful with what you say and what you say to yourself, what you say to others and what you say to yourself. Um, I had a young lady in the restaurant that I worked at. She, everybody knows I work at Pizza Hut, right? And she was cheesing the pizza incorrectly. She would put the cheese in the middle of the pizza and then shake the pizza to get the cheese to spread around. And the way you're supposed to do it, you're supposed to spread the cheese from the outside on the way in, kind of like a spiral. But she was just like shaking the pizza. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's like that's. She's like, I'm cheesing the pizza. I was like, who taught you that? And she told me who taught her that. And I was like, well, don't do it that way. Like that's wrong. What are you doing? Right? I was like, let me show you the right way to do it. So I showed her the right way to do it. And so I walked off. I just went somewhere real fast. I think I went to go wash my hands or something. And I came right back. And she was doing it the wrong way again. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I tried it and it didn't work. I said, what do you mean you tried it and it didn't work? Like you tried it on one pizza? I just washed my hands. Like I wasn't gone for more than 2 minutes. I was like, what do you mean you tried it and it didn't work? You tried it on one pizza and it quit? And she was like, yeah. Which shows that her expectation was, I'm gonna try it once. And if I can't get it, I'm just gonna go back to doing what I was doing. Like it's not gonna work for me. She gave up just like that because her expectation was I should be able to get it right the first time around. Um, which later on I had a talk with her because she kind of shut down on me. It was like I just kind of stopped correcting her because she was about to bust out in tears, and I wasn't being mean about it. You know what I mean? But the conversation she was having with herself was a very dark conversation. It was a bad conversation. She was putting herself down so badly. I actually pulled her aside and we talked for about 30 minutes. And I talked to her about the conversations that you have with yourself inside your head. Those are the most important ones. Those are the ones that build self-esteem. Um, y'all probably wouldn't be able to tell this about me, but when I was younger, I was super shy. Like I was really soft spoken. everybody was, huh? What did you say? Speak up. I can't hear you. Because I was like, hey, yeah, can I get like I'm ordering food, right? I go, Dad, can you just order for me? And he go, no, bud, speak up. You got it. You got it. I'm like, Dad, just can I get a double cheeseburger? And the person would be like, I'm sorry, honey, you got to speak up. And they say it so nicely. I'm like, Dad, can you just say it for me? The double cheeseburger. Like I was so shy. I didn't like talking to strangers was the big thing. At home, I was like, running around the house, outgoing, people I know. But when it was people I didn't know, I was super shy. And the way I came out of that and gained confidence was the conversation I started having with myself. I stopped talking about what are they thinking about. I don't care what they're thinking about now. I used to care what they thought about me or what they said about me. Now I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna be me. Like I had to start having those conversations with myself to get myself out of that. But that goes, the same for your expectations. Because if you're telling yourself like I expect this person to judge me in a negative way, again, you're gonna approach them differently. You're gonna, hey, be shy about it like I was. Hey, I'm a little nervous. Why? Why? Tell yourself that everything's gonna be all right. And if it ain't, who cares? Because honestly, 2 minutes from now, once you walk in the door, they're gonna forget about you anyways. But it took me a long time to kind of grow into that. Um, and then the third place is going to be your past experiences. That's where you get your expectations from, is from past experiences. Okay. For example, I've been rear-ended twice while sitting at a red light. One time was at a train. The train was coming. I got rear-ended. I don't know how the guy was drunk, but I'm just like, the arms are down, the lights are flashing, the sound's going ding, 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 and he's doing 40 miles an hour. We're not hitting the brakes. Like, and he ran into the back of me. And then the next time it happened, it was kind of a similar scenario. I'm stopping at a red light, and the guy's coming down the hill, and he's drunk, and he's just like flying, and he never hit his brakes. He just ran right into the back of me. Um, and that totaled my car. I had somebody in the car with me that hurt her back, and it was just really bad. Like the car was, he hit it so hard from the back that it totaled the car. Like that tells you how hard he hit it. He bent the frame up, and it was bad. So from that point on, my expectation was when I'm at a red light, somebody's going to run to the back of me. So I would stop, look in my mirror, and wait until the person was behind me and they stopped, and then I could relax. But my expectation was I can't relax until I know they have stopped. I guess there was a little bit of PTSD on that one. I recognized it, thankfully, and I corrected it pretty quickly. But for a couple of months, I was like, oh. I don't think I ever would have gotten on a motorcycle, which I ride a motorcycle for those who don't know, but I have a Harley. I never would have gotten on the motorcycle had I still been afraid of somebody running to the back of me, because that's even worse. There's no protection if someone runs to the back of you. One of the guys told me his girlfriend was following him one time, and she wasn't paying attention. She ran into the back of him, and his head flew back and left like a U-shaped dent in the hood. Thankfully, he had a helmet on. I don't ride with the helmet on. So I'd have been definitely afraid to do that. Like, there's like, you know what I mean? If I'm afraid that somebody's gonna hit me in the back, I never would have got on the motorcycle, period. So past experiences is where you get your expectations. You can also, well, I'll talk about that when we come to changing expectations. So the bottom line is expect the desirable outcomes more than you expect the undesirable outcomes. Okay. So how do you change your expectations about business, about wealth, about anything, honestly? And I think I hit on all these a little bit, but I'm gonna go a little more. So first, you want to find someone that you can look up to, model after their belief system, model their physiology, model the order that they do things. There's when I say the order that they do things, the way that they think is going to be different from the way that you think, because the way that you think has gotten the results for you that you've gotten, and the way that they think has gotten their results, which is the results you want. So if you want those results, start following and learning how they think. Okay. Um, the other one is like practice speaking positive words. Only use empowering words. And that goes to, towards people. That's what you take in, TV, um, music. Like TV is kind of hard to select kind of what's going to have cursing in it or not. Sometimes you can, I guess, based on the ratings, but profanity isn't the best. I try to get away from profanity. I use it a lot. I don't really use it a lot with you guys, but I use it way too much. I told my wife a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, I gotta stop cursing. Like this is not helping me at all. It's not uplifting to anybody. And that's because, seeds, I mean, words are seeds, right? And since words are seeds, it's going to produce something. There's going to be some outcome from the words that you use that's going to come out of it. Something's going to come out of the words you use, whether they're negative words or positive words. You're going to get some reaction or something coming out of it. So you want to make sure that you're using positive words, you're using uplifting words with yourself and with others, right? And then the other one is not just your past experiences, but other people's past experiences. Okay. So the best thing I can tell you to do there is turn off the TV, turn off your social media, turn all the other stuff off, read books to learn about other people's past experiences. The best way to learn about past experiences is through like autobiographies. You know what I mean? It's reading about other people, the choices that they made, the things that they've done, and that can help you to pick up different experiences from them, so your expectations can change and begin to expect the same things that they expected. They got them the results that they got, right? So to stop entertaining yourself so much and educate yourself a lot more. There's one guy that I follow. He he said for, I don't remember the amount of years it took. Well, I know it took him 14 years to finally be, successful, to reach the millionaire status, right? He said 14 years in business that he went through his journey in. He said while he was broke, he did not own one TV. He did not own one TV. He felt like, why am I going to entertain myself or numb myself to the fact that my life sucks? Why am I going to sit here and watch other people and celebrate in their success when I want to be that person? I want to be the one who's bringing I'm sorry, that has that success, right? So he didn't have a TV, but he has a very extensive library. So I tell you to model after other people who are already where you want to be. Turn off the TV, put down the cell phone, turn off the video game, read more books, do more audiobooks, buy courses. His recommendation is that you go through at least one seminar a month. You go through one thing a month. You should be educating yourself. You should be learning at an accelerated rate because you don't have time to waste learning slowly. The only way, which this is something that's kind of side tangent I'm about to go on, the only way to get rich is to get rich quickly. I know everybody goes, well, I've been taught about get rich quick schemes and blah, 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 blah. Have you ever seen anybody get rich slowly, right? If you take $50,000 a year and make that for the next 20 years, that's $1 million, right? But are you a millionaire? No, I guarantee you that all y'all listening right now have probably worked for at least 20 years and you've made, close to 50 or more, and you're not rich. But if you take that and you shrink it down under 2 years or so, you say, you know what, I'm gonna make $50,000 a month for the next 20 months. Are you rich? I mean, you may not have a million in the bank, but you're close. Like you are there. You are right there at the cusp. And I guarantee you, if you make $50,000 in 1 month, in another month, in another month, it's going to start increasing to where you're going to be making 60 and 70 and 80. And, it's not going to stay at 50. You're going to keep growing it. Yes, you are wealthy. You are no longer in need of money. Your first $50,000 a month, you don't need money anymore. Like you're not stressing over it. your bills are all taken care of. Like you are in a good place at that point. So it's measured, wealth is measured more in time than it is in money. So we don't have time to waste. We don't have time to waste getting rich slowly. You want to get rich quickly and you want to do it the right way, but you want to do it quickly. You got to make money fast. All right, that was a side tangent. So, let me see where we're at here. So yeah, take action with the belief that you're going to get a positive outcome. I said it already. I just want to say it again. Take belief that you're going to have a positive outcome, and your actions will change. They will change greatly. You will do you will do more, you will work harder, you will go faster if you just believe that it's right there and it's attainable versus it's not attainable, I'm never going to get it. So I might as well just kick my feet up and take my time. I want to say it was, oh, what is that lady's name? I can't think of the name of the lady. But I just heard it last night, as a matter of fact. She says a lot of times business owners, like especially new business owners, they they think of their business or they treat their business like a road trip, right? The road trip is there's nowhere to be, there's no purpose. We're just going to hit the road, and whenever someone wants to stop, we're going to stop. Whether it be the adults, whether it be the kids, or whatever the case may be, we're going to stop. We're going to sightsee. We're going to kick some rocks. We're going to hang out in the field. We're going to have a picnic. We're going to do whatever we want to do. We're just going to stop whenever, wherever, right? Versus what should be done is you should have a destination that you're trying to reach, right? Let's say you have a deadline, you have a speaking engagement that you have to be at a certain place. So at a certain time. So you're gonna pack your bags, you're gonna go to the airport, you're gonna get on the plane, you're gonna get over there as fast as you possibly can, get into your hotel if you can, go jump on stage and present, right? That's the way you should be treating your business. You should be trying to get to the finish line as quickly as possible. You should be getting to your goals as quickly as possible. And your expectation should be, I can get there as quickly as I possibly can if I just do XYZ. So you will change how you do things. Am I making sense, or am I just talking in circles?
Um, so you're, I mean, expectations, or you like in you visualize that it's gonna happen, or it's gonna happen, or you start acting like it's gonna happen anyhow. So you're making the steps towards that expectation or the goal, and
Right.
I guess you make all the little steps along the way to accomplishing, $50,000 a month or
Whatever the goal is.
whatever the
You,
goal is now.
you're going to do everything in your power to make it happen versus before you just kind of lollygagged. You just took your time. You're like, I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try this, I'll try that. No, hit the ground running. I mean, do some research, right? You want to figure out what it is that you need to do. But everybody who's right here, right now, live with me, y'all have a framework. That framework works. Y'all have two coaches that can guide you. If you take action, you're going the wrong way. We'll get you back on track. We're not going to let you just go off and do the wrong thing. There's no reason why you guys can't take massive action right now today and expect that it's going to work. Because even if it doesn't work, even if you're doing the wrong thing, we're going to correct you. So there should be no doubt that you guys can reach the goal if you just go for it with all your heart, with all your might. Just go for it. Just do it. Just expect it to work. It's going to work. Doesn't matter how long it takes. We ain't going nowhere. Rachel's in the group. She's real quiet. She doesn't, because she's been in the group for a while. But it took Rachel a year to make her first sale. It took Rachel a year to make her first sale. And we stuck with her and we kept telling her what to do. She got stuck in her own head. And eventually she got it figured out. And that was it. She hit the ground running. Now she's our TikTok expert. You want to know something about TikTok? Talk to Rachel. She's making sales all over on it. And she's doing it part-time. She's doing it while she's working. She's still a flight attendant, right? She just crossed over the $10,000 mark in her business. I want to say it was like November or December. She just crossed over the $10,000 mark that she's made total sales in her business or total profit in her business. There's other people in there too that are real quiet, like Lupita. Lupita is what we call her our silent killer. Lupita, she was doing all the things and she just kind of kept it real quiet to herself. She didn't let anybody really know what she was doing. And then one day she just dropped a screenshot in of her bank account of her like I guess it was like the bank's I don't know if it's a statement, but it was a screenshot of her balance, right? And it read something like 9,600 and something dollars. And we were like, "What's this, Lupita?" She goes, "Oh yeah, that's how much I made this month." What? Like, girl, you just made $10,000 this month and you didn't say nothing? What are you doing? Like, really? We could have been like helping you and supporting you and coming up with better ideas to help you cross the finish line. But she just stuck. She stuck to the course, and she's one who got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. She said I got to be in my at my desk by 4 a.m. So she got up at 3:45. She gave herself 15 minutes to get up, get ready, enough to where she can get at her desk. And she was at her desk by 4 o'clock in the morning. She had to get up 2 hours or, a few hours early because she had to get her son ready at 6 o'clock for school. She had to get her husband ready for work. She had to get her ready for work. The family stuff happened at 6 a.m. So
Yeah.
she got up at 3:45, made sure she's at her desk at 4, and she used it wasn't called the 2 hour workday then, but she used what you guys have now, the 2 hour workday. She used that 2 hours a day before her day started. That's how she made $10,000 in a month. And she did it, I think, 2 or 3 months in a row. Like it wasn't just one. She repeated it. She repeated it. Y'all have the framework. There's nothing that's stopping you other than the fact that you don't believe that you can get there. Your expectation isn't there. You think it's further than what it actually is, and it's not. It's 6 months from now. It's a year from now. It's 2 years from now. That's not a long ways away. I mean, you've all been living for a while. You know that 2 years goes by like that in the blink of an eye. You're not that far away from your goals, but you have to believe that you're not that far away from your goals. Because when you believe it, you run harder, you run faster, right? Um, Use this for an example, right? Let's say you're racing someone and you leave them in the dust, and you're like, "Oh, I got this." You just kind of cruise, right? You're just like, "Yeah, I got this." He ain't catching up, but everything changes when that person is side by side with you. And you know you can beat him. You know the goal's right there. You know you can beat him. So you dig deeper and you go faster and you go harder. And he digs deeper or she digs deeper and they go faster, they go harder. And both of y'all are just digging deep because you know your goal is right there. The finish line is right there. So y'all's finish line is right there. It's right there for you. All you got to do is just run to get it. You have to get there quickly, or else another reason too you need to get there quickly is proof of concept. Until you make your first sale, until the first thing happens, you're gonna have doubt. That seed of doubt's there. Does this really work? Can I really do it? You're gonna have those seeds of doubt in there. The best way to get rid of those seeds of doubt is to get results. The best way to get rid of those seeds of doubts is to get results. Show up for yourself and get the results that you need. That's it. No, that was a whole tangent. I wasn't supposed to do that. Look at my notes. Where was I at?
I
All right.
I can I just feedback for a sec? Is that all right?
Yeah, go for
So
it.
like I'm in the middle of it, like everything you and Cassie have been talking about is so like right on my head right now. Everything that all the processes that you're talking about, I just went through when I signed up in the last week, right? Maybe even less. And
Right.
when you're talking about expectations, I had some belief in myself that I could accomplish something. I knew what was missing, and what was missing for me was a level of expertise. And like that's how kind of how you finished off your thing. You read books, you have Cassie and I, and whatever. And that allows me to have faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
is that I feel, and that faith in your expertise was earned a long time ago by you being with integrity and honesty, but me own learning to only accept people that I resonated with and felt honest with,
Yeah,
felt that there was integrity to. So,
you're seeing the lines and you're connecting the dots now. Everything that's what I call what you're seeing right now is what I call the journey. I mean, I'm pretty sure other people call it the journey too, but I call it the journey. Like there's if you look at my Facebook page, like every now I sign like everything. It's embrace the journey, John Burke. Embrace the journey so you can become something more, John Burke. There's always like embrace the journey, embrace the journey, embrace the journey, because you will see that everything that you have done in your life is leading up to and has leaded up to this point and is leading up to more. It's leading up to your purpose for you to fulfill your purpose, for you to do more, for you to and really the purpose is to create, connect, and contribute, right? So you're leading up to your purpose of how you can fulfill those, how you can be more creative, how you can connect more with more people, how you can contribute more. Um, if you think about like Elon Musk, he's connected with a lot of people without actually connecting with the people. You know what I mean? Just in a product that he has changed so much with his product, and he's connected with so many people. He's contributed so much with stuff, and he did it with his creativity. Like he hit all 3 points. I can guarantee you, Elon Musk feels pretty fulfilled. He feels pretty good about the things that he's done, about the impact that he's made on this planet while he was here. And if you start going for your impact, if you start going for how can I make the greatest impact on the most people, okay, you get me off track here.
apologize. Preach,
but
preach.
but yeah, you get what I'm saying though. Like if you get that, like you can make a huge impact. And that's why they say that millionaires don't chase money. They don't chase money. They chase other things like impact, right? They look to serve people, and that like the byproduct of doing the thing that you're meant to do, doing the thing that you're put here to like serve at your highest level. That is when like the byproduct is money. The byproduct is fame. The byproduct is whatever else. Like it's never the main goal. You just want to serve at the highest level, right? And and that might mean you have to work for free. That may mean you have to do it for free for a while. This that I put on for you guys, for me, is for free. I do this out of service. You know what I mean? Cassie and I don't split it 50-50. Cassie has clients, I have clients. I do this for free. I have no problem with doing it for free. I want to give back. I want to serve. I want to whatever. But in the process, you guys might become a part of my following. You guys may start following me. I'm not looking for you to, but if you do, awesome, right? That means I can have a greater impact on you. I can continue my impact and continue teaching you different things and continue giving you and giving you and giving you because I'm looking to give. I'm not looking to get. Eventually the getting will come. Right now, I'm just looking to give. I'm looking to help. I'm looking to make an impact. I want you guys to grow as much as you possibly can. That makes sense? All right. Side side tangent number 2 or 3, whatever.
But it makes sense. I mean, what you're saying. I mean, it might be a tangent, but it's connecting. I mean, you're connecting with what you're saying. It's making sense to me.
Okay. Well, look, that's what I'm here to do, man. I want to expand your thinking because it's not going to you could never you could never you could never earn more than what you've grown. Like you can't out earn yourself. You have to grow more in order to earn more. Right now, what you know how to earn is the hourly wage. Right? That's the thing that you're at is all you know how to do is the hourly wage. Um Soon you'll be learning how to earn commissions without an hourly wage. But first you got to work for free. You got to do the work for free until you can start to earn it. And I said for me, I can go back and do exactly what I've been doing, which was the 2 hour workday. I can go back and do that method. That's something that I felt like I got like grown away from, and I've grown more into my passion. That was a good starting point for me, which is why I talk more about the beliefs about the mindset stuff than I do about the actual strategy behind everything. But I can teach strategy, I can help with strategy, I can do all that stuff as well. I just right now I'm focused on the passion part of things. Um, like what am I really enjoying? And I know there's some things that I got to do that's not going to be in alignment with my passion. But right now, the passion is just helping everybody, just giving back, just doing what I can to help you guys expand your minds, have a better understanding, so that your businesses can take off in the way that you want it to take off. You know what I mean? Because money ain't everything. Uh-oh, I clicked out of my notes. I clicked out of my notes. Okay. Let me find where I was. Okay, so I said I was going to touch a little bit on the goal. So I want to touch a little bit on the goals, right? So again, I'm going to define what a goal is. A goal is a predetermined outcome that you want to achieve. You can also define it as an outcome that you've decided is worth your attention and you desire to have it. Okay. You can also define it as an outcome that you've decided is worth your attention and you desire to have it. Now, here's where things get a little interesting, right? Just because you desire to have something doesn't mean you will get that something, right? You have to also act on it, which is, what we've been talking about for, in my rants and whatnot, my side tangents. Um, but you have to act on it. And what determines how you act is your expectations of your outcome. Okay. I said it before, I'm saying it again, but this time it's a different way. The thing that determines how you act is your expectations of the outcome. So if you expect something not to work, that means that you're going to do things a little differently than if you did expect for it to work, right? Like, for example, if you expect an airplane to fall out of the sky, are you going to get on the plane or you're not going to get on the plane? Nobody's getting on the plane, right? You expect it to fall out of the sky. Like, no, it's not going to fly. You don't get on that plane. You're not doing it. It's a no-brainer. But when you expect that plane to stay in the air, you move to get on that plane without giving it even a second thought. You're like, okay, I'm going to get on this plane. We're going to go over to wherever. Everything's going to be all right. Like most people don't even worry about it. There are some people that have fear of flying, but most people don't even worry about getting on the plane. They just jump on and go. Okay. So you move a little bit differently when you expect a positive outcome versus a negative outcome. So when you set goals for your business, what are your expectations for reaching those goals? I can guarantee you that for most people, the expectation is hopeful. It's hopeful. It's doubtful. It's unsure. I'm not sure if I can make it. I'm not sure this is going to work. Right. And since that's how you feel, you never get on the plane, which means your business, you never start your business. Like you're the captain of your business. That means you never start your business. You never give your business permission to take off. It never rolls down the runway. It never picks up speed. You never lift off the ground. You never fly through the air, and you never reach the heights that you know your business can reach if you just actually did the things that if you actually change your expectation, right? You did the things that you know that you can do in order to get that. So in other words, since you expect your efforts not to work, they don't. Okay. And because you're either going to take the wrong action, you're going to fall into inaction, or just plain walk away, You simply do not use your superpower or take advantage of it, which is your expectation. That's all I
So
got for you guys.
is it, is there a process of choosing realistic expectations that you believe that you can achieve? Right? Like, isn't that part of like when I talk about fitness goals, right? I think it's better instead of having the discipline to do something that you know dread and don't want to do, it's better to be disciplined to choose the things that you have reason to have faith that you believe you can adhere to and will work in the end.
So what I'll say to that is most people most people underestimate their capacity for things.
Mm-hmm.
We always try to take the safe route. So what I would say to that is push yourself a little, pull yourself a little, go. You know, if you know, okay, I know that I can get up in the morning and I can go make $20 an hour, right? I
Mm-hmm.
know I can do that. So why not push a little further? Can I make $25 an hour? Can I make $30 an hour? Can I make $50 an hour? Can I make
Right.
$100 an hour? Like, yeah, sure you can. You just don't, you may not have to know how to do it, but you can do it. And that just means you have to work harder at getting the know-how so you know how to do it. If you set the goal for yourself and you set the bar high, you're going to push yourself to try to hit that goal. And that's the whole point is because you believe that if you just do the right things, you can hit that goal. You know it. You know if you do, like if somebody can reach and somebody can have $1 million day, why can't you have $100,000 day? Now I'm not going to say it's going to happen tomorrow. You have to build to that, but you know it can be done. You know it can be done. Other people have done it. The only difference is you just don't know how to.
Right.
So because you don't know how to, you know where you need to start. I need to learn how to. That's your starting point right there. Like you know what you got to do. You got to learn how to get to that point. Um, again, it would be completely unrealistic to try to do that like today, tomorrow. But it's not unrealistic for you to hit $100,000 in 2 years.
A day.
Sure you can. Like sure you can. It's not unrealistic for you to be a millionaire in 3 to 5 years. That is not unrealistic. It may seem far fetched because the only way you know how to make money right now is to trade your time for money. So it may seem unrealistic to you. It may seem far fetched, like, oh, that's not a thing. But sure, yeah, you can make that kind of money. I watched when the program that me and Cassie met in when we first took over. I mean, we first got there. I can't remember exactly what he was making. I want to say it was like he was around the 10 to $15,000 mark. And within a year of me meeting him, he had crossed over the $250,000 mark. Like in a year, you know what I mean? He was making like there was one month, I think at the time his best month was like 53 million, 53 million, $53,000. And I was like, wow. That right there was enough to give me faith in the future outcome. I was like, shoot, I just watched him do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using the same techniques that he's using. Like, yeah, I can do that. Sure. But that's why you got to take action now. You got to get your first win. I know you're only a week into the program, but you got to start doing the things now. Get your first win. Um,
I already feel like I've won. Like I've been dreaming about posting stuff and making stuff, a Facebook page, and I didn't do any of it for years, right? So I've made a 3 or 4 posts. They suck, but I don't really care, because I did it.
right. That's all it is. It's supposed to suck, and it's supposed to be hard, and it's supposed to fall flat. It's supposed to get no engagement. It's supposed to. That's what's going to make you better at writing it. You're going to
Mhm.
go, oh, well, let me try something different. What you did was, if you got no engagement on it, or if the only engagement you got were the people in this group, you know what I mean? We're just, because we're being supportive. We're like, here you go. We'll give you some likes, try to help it move around a little bit. If we're the only ones who liking it, or if you're not getting a whole lot of engagement, you just learned one way to not get engagement. You learn something new. You learn how to not get engagement. So try something different. So maybe you can learn how to get engagement. And again, you still have us. You can come have us come pick it apart for you. You may not like what we're saying, but you're gonna want what we're saying. Like, oh man, I had a whole lot of, like, I thought this one could be a good one. And we're like, yeah, no, this change this, change that, and that. And you're like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be a good one. Don't get down and out about it. You know what I mean? It's just take the feedback and go back and change it. Be what's the word? The coachable. There we go. That
Can
was
you
the
take a look when you have a chance? Can you take a look at what I posted on the Facebook, or should I send it to you? Or
yeah. I don't think we're friends, so I
yeah,
have
I
to
did
go
it
in and find
today.
you.
My new
There we
account.
okay. Yeah, I can take a peek at it and look at it.
All
And
right, thanks.
like I
I
said, we
know
can
there's lots of errors I made, but that's good to get it
right.
out there. So you can learn from them.
But again, look at other look at other people in the same industry that you want to emulate after. Your social media account, this is a whole little side tip for you guys. Your social media account is no longer there for you to scroll. It's not a place for you to go have fun anymore. It's a place for you to go and see what your future mentors, or what the people you look up to, like what they're doing. How are they writing their content? What are they saying in their content? I mean, you're just going to go through and start following the people. I think Russell Brunson says it's the top 100, your top 100, something like that. It's the 100 people that you follow that already have your customer. They already have your customer. They're already speaking to your customer. And if you want your customer, if you want their customer to become your customer, all you have to do is start speaking the same language. You don't want to copy what they're saying, but you want to speak to them in a similar fashion, in a similar manner. And you just want to emulate what you're seeing. But you want it to be in your voice. You want it to be authentic, which is a big reason why I stopped promoting like the the way that we do things, because I just wasn't passionate about it before. I didn't feel authentic anymore. I felt like a job. Not to say it doesn't work, because it does work. No, it works. I jumped in. I got the framework. I jumped in. Now I already had a little bit of I had some momentum going, right? I had a little audience already. I was already doing things. I was already having little conversations. I was figuring it out on my own, basically, and I was on the right path. I was in the right direction. But as soon as like the curtain got pulled back and I saw it, and I was like, oh crap, that's what we do. And then before, like, I want to say it was the next day or 2 days later, I jumped into the coaching call, and Cassie was celebrating her first win. She just made a $500 commission, and she was happy, and she was ecstatic, whatever. And I was like, oh my god, this is real. This is real. I believe that this can be done. I expect that I can do it now. And I did it in a week. I got my first sale in a week. I am not kidding you. The first week of being in the program, I got a $500 commission. I sold a $2,000 product. All because I believe. That's why I'm telling you guys, you are so close to the finish line, you don't even realize how close you are. I did it in a week. Now, again, I had some momentum, a little bit of momentum. So my week might be 30 days for you. It might be 60 days for you. It might be 90 days for you. But that's not a long time. We're already in February. We just celebrated the new year. We're already in February. Like, it feels like it was just yesterday, but it was 30 days ago already. That is not a long time. You guys can be right there if you just take it and you run with it. And not only did I do it in a week, I did it the next week, and the next week, and the next week, and then I skipped a week. I did it the next week, and the next week, and then that 8th week, I had 2 of them. So I had my first $1,500 day. It's like, oh my God, mind blowing. I have never made $1,500 in a day aside from getting my tax return, getting my refund check. What? $1,500 in a day? I started doing it so much I got bored with $1,500 days. I didn't even tell people about it anymore. I was just like, $1,500 a day. All right, cool. All right, cool. Yep, that's not $1,500 a day. Yeah. Y'all
Josh,
are not that. Go
what
ahead.
niche are you in, Josh? Can I ask you, Josh or Joshua?
Uh, yeah, marketing, affiliate marketing, and digital marketing. And John and Cassie are coaching me. I just got to be more active on it. I got to put more reels or just posting on my I have a new Facebook profile just on just the marketing. And I just got to be more active on it. And biggest issue for me is just the analysis paralysis. I overthink about it too much. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
But I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. I got to do it.
And
I
and you're
make
having
time
that
for it.
analysis paralysis because you're expecting what? You're expecting it to not be good. You're
Right.
expecting to fail. You're expecting something negative. I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't ask you, but I know it's nothing good. I know your
Yeah.
expectation is nothing good, and that's why you keep like, oh well, I haven't figured it out yet, so let me try. Just do something, right? Just
Yeah.
it doesn't what you do today doesn't have to be what you do tomorrow, and you're not going to like offend people just because you switched up. You may lose some people because they're not interested in that, but that's cool because you don't want them just cluttering up your space anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you for leaving my page, my profile. You just made room for somebody who actually is going to enjoy what I'm giving them, because this is what I'm giving you. I don't care if you like it or not. This is what I got to give. If you don't like it, don't be here.
Yeah.
It's simple. Like just don't be on my page. You don't have to come to my profile. I had somebody tell me because I put like at followers. Like I tagged the followers on my page, and she messaged me and she said, when you do that, we get a notification for every response that happens on that post. So what? Turn it off. Like if you don't like it, turn it off. Why are you telling me about it? You think I'm gonna stop doing it? No, turn it off. You can turn off notifications for that post. You can turn off notifications for me. You can make it so where when I tag followers, you don't pop up in it. You can stop following me altogether. So my thing is, so what? I don't care if you don't like it. You don't have to be here. I'm not forcing her to be on my thing, to follow me and to be a part of the followers. She don't have to be a part of that. Don't be. As a matter of fact, the fact that you said something to me like that about it means I don't want to work with you anyways. You're a headache because you expect me to change for you. Like I'm not changing for her. I'm not going to change the way I operate my business because she doesn't want to be tagged. And just a blanket tag. It's not like I tagged her personally.
Yeah.
Like, okay, bye. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, man, is there a way that I can just like there's too many people out there for me to
Right.
worry about for me to worry about I'm offending her because I tagged her in a post. Well, you follow me because you're interested in the things I gotta say. And if you're no longer interested, then you no longer have to follow. I'm not going to change the way I do it. I'm not going to change the way I say it because it's not something that's that bad. You have control that you can maneuver and change. Just change the controls. Which
Right.
I don't know. I thought about telling her that, like, hey, just
It's the
just
settings or something like
yeah,
that.
just go to your settings and make it so I can't tag you or something. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah, I
that's how
just
I feel.
what Josh was asking me. I'm in the marketing, digital marketing and affiliate marketing, and I just gotta. I know you. I haven't. I'll take a look at your stuff, but
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
great.
a
I
lot of it
appreciate
is
the
just
feedback. It's
thinking about
really
it too
raw.
much and trying to make it perfect. Just I think you have main thing is you have to do it like on a consistent basis, even if it's just once a week or even But I need to be more consistent in my content.
What's
Yeah,
your
if you want to get
what part of your business are you is like is there a niche of affiliate marketing? Is there a part you're passionate about, like a different an industry?
Um, I guess I don't have a specific niche. I'm still trying to understand affiliate marketing in general. And the way I understand affiliate marketing is just you have to find out what the audience is looking for, and then you give them, information or knowledge or something of value, or you tell them to follow your story, and then they start following you, and then eventually you're going to start, promoting products and services. I don't have a specific niche yet. But I'm just trying to focus on what affiliate marketing is, and the way that I understand it is just promoting products, services, or people, and
Right.
I mean you have to produce content, but you can I have some followers, but I just got to interact with them and engage with them and find out what they're looking for and give them what they're looking for, content, something of value, without asking, them to purchase anything. I'm just giving them information.
But there's so much affiliate marketing stuff. Like I think once you find what you're passionate about, whether it's music or sports or whatever, it'll
Right.
be easier for you. You know, your doubts will go away because you'll be like, oh, I want to do this. I want to jam with this. You know.
Yeah, and yeah, like niche is like a broad, yeah, it's like a category. I have to have some kind of category or niche that I'm trying to produce content.
Right.
I hear what you're saying.
Like,
Um,
what are your Can I ask you what your passions are?
I like to read. Um, I like playing poker. I mean, that's the thing. I have a lot of interests. I have too many, and I'm just trying to, I guess, focus on what my audience is looking for, cater to that audience, and then try to build up enough traffic and followers to I guess follow my content and follow my story or my journey or my series as far as what like Cassie's telling me to do. And I have to just post stuff on there and then develop an offer, I guess. And then I guess the way that I pictured in my head is like the top of the funnel where you have a broad general subject, and then you sort of whittle it down to like you're trying to find conversion rates where people are trying to just click on your profile or your links or something like that.
I just feel it'd be more fun for you to focus on like poker affiliates, to learn the poker the right way or to
Yeah, like teach people how to play poker. I mean,
right, like whether it's not you
I'm
find
trying to,
that guru, right? Or what was the other one that you said? Reading. I mean, there's tons of like amazing books that people should be reading or and stuff like
yeah, I
that.
mean, like John Burke was saying, I like reading books on like setting goals, success, being successful, and just like big mindset. Like I have this one book right here that I'm reading through, Nine-Figure Mindset, and it's about thinking big. And that's where my head is, but I'll go so wrapped up in the details that I try to micromanage everything. I'm trying to think bigger, so it'll push me past all the little steps and just get to the bigger goals faster.
But
But
I'd love to see a summary of that book, for instance, from your voice.
it's Nine-Figure Mindset by Brandon Dawson. I just got it through Amazon, and I have a lot of these books. I have a lot of books about goal setting and thinking big, and I've seen people do on YouTube. They'll talk about business books. They say, "Okay, I read these books about business," and of course they have affiliate links. And these are big-minded, like successful people, but they talk about business books and they have links on their bio, and people are clicking it. And of course, they get kickback from promoting their books.
I was gonna say,
Amazon affiliates. Is that the one
Josh,
that I heard about?
I do some YouTube stuff. Some like if I own a faceless channel, and I was gonna say that book summaries and like I mean movie summaries or reviews basically.
Right.
Those rank in the top 100 niches for YouTube as far as your CPM. So like what you get paid if you're if you build up your channel. So I was gonna say that's another thing that you can kind of link to your Facebook, and like if you do end up getting into the book stuff, you can have like a channel just for like reviewing the books that you read.
Yeah.
And if you get like good at it and kind of set your competitors. So you find other people who are maybe talking about similar books, or people who just like really review the books really well. And you kind of, so it's just, I was gonna say I've worked past, I think, for the most part, of like my content being perfect, but I have this like thing where I was kind of also feeling like I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Like my offer was really hard for me to nail down. And I was just kind of like, I didn't feel like an expert, right? You got to feel like an expert. You have to have authority to like feel confident in like talking about these things. So, I mean, I would just jump in, like what Josh said about like just lean on what you enjoy about it and just kind of go from there. So, if it's reviewing books and talking about poker and you're like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to connect this to an offer or like a business, but just do it anyway,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
I don't know. I
And
mean, I'm not
Yeah,
a
like you're right. Just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I don't. My review doesn't have to be perfect, or my content has to be perfect. I just have to put out content. Eventually, I can make it perfect. But in the meantime, I just gotta do it without overthinking it and trying to make it perfect and worried about what other people are thinking. Or
Yeah, that's been one of my biggest mental blocks in just like getting into making content. First of all, I'm not a big social media person, like in my personal life. I don't post. I'm not out here like that. So it's always been very uncomfortable for me. But now, like I'll just throw just a random reel up there that it's like I don't even care. I don't think about it after I post it. I'm not stressing about it. So now I can move on to focusing on other things, to like honing in on becoming an expert on something or becoming an authority on something. Um, a little bit more, and then the content's not weighing on me so heavy, because I'm just putting stuff out there. But I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at. But I was also going to say, since you like reading, and I don't know, I was just thinking while John was talking about like impressing, well, basically your expectation, you have to impress positive outcomes on your subconscious mind, which is really hard for us to do because our mind naturally goes to the negative,
yeah,
'cause we're human.
yeah.
And there's this book, it's like a really short, quick read. I just dropped it in the chat. And I mean, this was written, I think, in the 1920s. So it's like so fascinating that this book is still from 1920s to now, so relevant and powerful for people, especially business owners. I found out about this book from someone else that I really look up to and follow. Um, And some of the language, I'm just putting it out there, is like obviously 1920s. We don't talk the same, right? So like I have to like reread a sentence a few times of like, okay, what does this mean? So, but if you can get, past that and take in what she's saying, like I have I've learned like right now, like my mom is a very well, she has like a lot of she has some mental health stuff, but she catastrophizes everything, right? Like everything. She has like some OCD, she has some, just a fear of like everything, right? And so
Uh-huh.
her mind processes things like that, and she raised me. So like as an adult, I'm like reflecting on like, okay, my mind goes there too. Like I'm trying to recondition myself to not
Yeah, yeah.
be that way. And so I read this book and reread it and reread it because there's actually like some practical things in there that you can do um, to kind of work past that, working on your expectations and how you view things and what you're giving power to, if you're giving power to those negative outcomes in your life. And I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, a little bit hippy dippy. Okay.
No,
But
but it
like,
makes, I mean,
it's
it makes
just,
a lot of sense to me. You're basically your brain or your thought process
yeah,
is a broken record. It's on repeat mode. You could
yeah,
repeat mode, negative things, or you could repeat, broken record on all the positive things. You just have to keep repeating it over and over again.
until you
So
believe
your
it.
brain is, your thoughts are just basically occupied with all the positive stuff, and all the negative stuff is doesn't even have time to replace your, the positive.
Right. Like I use it to combat my negative and my anxiety. So when I start thinking those negative thoughts, I've already set up like whatever you want to call it, an affirmation or something that I say to myself repeatedly until I get myself out of that anxious state of mind. And that's just what's, been helping me through that. But um yeah, she talks about metaphysicians a lot and how people who like what we're afraid of is what we attract to ourselves. So like even with like physical stuff, right? Like illness. If we're afraid of illness and we're obsessing about illness constantly, like that is what will come to us. And when I was reading that book, it was crazy because my mom had cancer, and like she's been obsessed with cancer my whole life, like literally just terrified of it, talking about it constantly. And she ended up having cancer in her jaw too. Like my sister was like, that's crazy, because for someone who talks about cancer so much, and then just to get it like in that place, and for it to be so rare and everything that she went through, is like, that is crazy. Like I genuinely believe like this is we attract these things, you know. So you really have to be in control of your mind.
Yeah.
Sorry to go off on a tangent.
No, it makes a lot of sense to me, for sure. I believe in everything that you just said.
Yeah, Josh, for you, you definitely want to just keep taking action, because if you stop and stand still, you're never going to figure out what it is you want to do. So if you start doing things like posting regularly, you'll figure out what you like and don't like. Like I figured out what I didn't like and what I did like. Even though I was doing it, I was making good money off of it. I was like, I really don't want to do this part for per se. You know what I mean? I still want to be a part of the business, but I don't want to be on this side of the business. I want to be on this side of the business. So you'll figure out what it is if you just start taking action. And if you change it, again, it doesn't matter, right? Maybe you have 200 followers, maybe you have 2,000 followers. That is small. That is really small. There are billions of people in this world. That is a small drop in a very large pond. So there's even if you just like get 2,000 followers and you piss them all off, there's still 2,000 more that are just waiting for you on the other side that
Yeah.
would be interested in what you're interested in now. You don't have to be stuck to that one thing, but you do want to start moving and taking action, consistent action, figuring it out. You'll figure out your voice. You'll figure out what you like, what you don't like. Follow people who are already doing what you're doing. Learn from them. I draw a lot of inspiration from the people I follow. This program that I set up came from somebody else. They had something similar. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that. Let me create my own. The course came from somebody else. Talking about the expectations, I picked that up along the way. But if you're just sitting there being inactive, you won't pick up any of this stuff, and you can't do nothing with, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do because you haven't picked anything up. You haven't learned anything. You haven't grown any. Just start taking their own action and coming back and telling us what action you're taking. And we can say, okay, let's tweak this, let's change that, let's go here, let's go there. But until you figure out, you pin something down and say, I'm just going to start doing this. It's a starting point. You never finish at the starting point. You're just starting.
Gotcha.
Okay. Anybody else got any questions, comments, concerns? Going once. Going twice. Bye, y'all.
Nice to meet you guys.
There goes the balloons. I heard Cassie had the balloons going.
Get confetti and everything, and the
Yeah, she was doing like this. Let me see.
oh, there's
There it
laughing.
is, confetti. Oh, right back at you, Cassie. All right, I'll see you
Have a
guys
good
in the
weekend,
group.
friends.
You too.
Yeah, you too.